Everybody, welcome to What the Flick, The Flash, episode 205, The Darkness and the Light. Alonso Duralde. Joining me this week is my special guest, Johnnie Jungleguts from K-Chung Radio and Comics vs. Toys here in Los Angeles. Bibbs and Francis are both elsewhere. So anyway, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
What a week you picked to come in, because holy shit, this episode was great.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was they're spinning a lot of wheels right now.
So much happening. I think I love the mileage they're getting out of the multiverse concept in terms of people's otherworldly doppelgangers. If nothing else, just Cisco's line, wow, our Dr. Wells was evil, but you're just a dick.
Yeah, he got a couple good ones in there this week. They're really doing a great job, like, making that character into something really substantial, when in the comics he was always kind of like, who cares?
On
you know
the
what
side,
I mean?
yeah. And we were introduced to this version of Dr. Light, who interestingly in the comics was always like, as a villain was a white dude, and then when she became an Asian woman was a hero. Like she was in the Giffen Justice League for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds, and I've just recently been reading that, and so I was kind of like, I was a little sad that she was a villain in this, just because I liked her outfit, but but maybe that's the alternate universe version, so maybe they'll bring her in again, or who knows what they'll do with it.
True, or maybe our I forget the character's name now, but you know, the ex-girlfriend will become Linda. Yeah, Linda Park will become the good Dr. Light of Earth 1.
Yeah, and Harrison Wells is back or not back, depending on how you look at it, but he's sort of creepy again and great. One thing that I was thinking about was like that app that discloses metagene identity.
The Apple Watch, yeah.
That's like that's a little messed up, you know. People, you can't. That should be someone's right to disclose that information.
Yeah, outing is not cool, Dr. Wells.
Yeah, get that under control, buddy.
But I'm kind of glad that we finally forced the issue onto Cisco, because I think as we learned last season, the whole, I have a secret and this person knows and that person doesn't know, it can get a little tiresome. I mean, we still have that a little in that Barry's new girlfriend doesn't know that he's also the Flash, but it's less irritating than when Iris didn't know.
Yeah, they really drew that out like maybe a little too long.
A little much, yeah. And especially since, you know, when they're all under the same roof, you know, and Joe knows and Barry obviously knows and she doesn't. But this seems like it's being played out differently. You know, the Caitlin Jay Garrick relationship is having more poignancy than I would have guessed.
Yeah, you're feeling more into it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's still a little bit, I mean, he feels a little bit like of a pushover, but maybe he's just like the one realistic person in a world without fear, you know what I mean?
True. Well, and obviously he knows this Dr. Wells better than they do. So
that's true.
It might benefit them to sort of heed him when he's like, don't listen to this guy, he's going to get you killed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him on that, you know, but just his anxiety about Zoom. I mean, it's just comic book logic. Like, anyone rational would be on his side, I think, in the real world.
Sure, totally. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I just found this episode so satisfying. I loved all of the introductions to Dr. Wells, you know, like Joe shooting at him and Iris just being aghast, and you know that they really kind of played that for both drama and comedy as it sort of went along.
Yeah, they really milked that a lot, and also like when he's like using all of Cisco's equipment and Cisco's like super annoyed, that was like a cute little moment. I mean, I feel like I said, the only thing, it's kind of cheesy, but I wish that there had been a ridiculous scene in which the Flash had to fight Dr. Light blind, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like, they make him blind and then, like...
Send him on a date.
They send him on a date, and that's, like, as far as it goes, then he has his vision back. Like, I kind of wanted that ridiculous scene where he had to, like, figure out some way to fight a supervillain blind with his speed, you know?
Or with Cisco in his ear. I think part of what this show is doing in a smart way, which has also been coming up on Supergirl, which we're not recapping here, but I am watching, is the notion of, you know, in the comics, heroes kind of emerge fully formed, or within an issue or two, they know what they're doing. And here it's this notion of, you got to kind of start small and learn stuff. And all of season 1 was about Barry learning not just the limits of his powers, but about physics, you know, and just sort of like logical solutions to things. And I think he's still learning that stuff. The whole thing where Dr. Wells tells him he has to create the multiple versions of himself to throw off Dr. Light. I think if they had done the blind thing and have him go against this villain who has already been proven to be kind of formidable,
yeah,
that might not have played as much. I think he's season 3, season 4 Flash may be at that level.
Yeah, maybe.
He wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
But the date was cute, at least. It was, it was sort of charming.
It was sort of charming, yeah. I mean, that's what I really like about the show too, is even though it does have the like more realism, it brings in like really ridiculous comic book elements,
Sure.
like other shows that would try to interpret these characters, like King Shark, for example. They would do like a nautical gangster with like a shark tattoo. And while that's like less ridiculous than a giant shark with arms and legs, it's certainly way less interesting and way less bizarre.
They would make Gorilla Grodd a nickname or something.
Yeah.
I kind of like how this show can embrace the goofy comic book side and still give us characters that we care about and are plausible and in a world that we sort of recognize, except for the weird metahuman stuff, which is a tricky balance to pull off. And I wasn't always feeling it in season 1, but the show's really winning me over as we get into season 2. I think they're getting better at it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's like they're all developed and it's just a lot smoother.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, sir, for coming in. I appreciate it. Sadly, without Bibbs and Francis, we got no Gotham this week, but we'll double up next week, I promise. And we'll be back next time with The Flash. Thank you, Johnny Jungleguts.
Thank you.